Well, I'm coming to you today once again to talk about the importance of elections. And this one is fairly important. The bottom line is democracy is on the ballot and will be for every election, federal, state, and local, pretty much forever. It has been for decades, but we just didn't realize it. What does this look like? The Supreme Court of the United States has granted kingly authority to a crime-committing former president. 27 states have added restrictions to voting rights since the 2020 election. These obstacles and gerrymandering have been done with the intent of creating minority rule through the country, denying hundreds of thousands of people their right to vote, to terrifying results. Many in the LGBTQ community fear losing their precious rights to marriage, gender identity, and healthcare. Some school curricula are dictating that Africans brought to the United States in bondage came to learn a new trade. Accurate history is being removed from classrooms so as not to cause any discomfort to the privileged. States are mandating that the Ten Commandments be posted clearly at all schools. These issues and more are all on the ballot this year. Yes, democracy and freedom are on the ballot, and we have to get out the vote. Those who obstruct access to the polls have created a narrative that our votes don't matter, and there's nothing we can do about it. If that were true, they wouldn't be working so hard to stop people from voting. You've probably heard of Project 2025. At almost 900 pages long, the Heritage Foundation has painted their vision for the United States. Even though many now are pretending it's not so bad, the 2025 leader has stepped down, it is still very much alive. They propose to purge civil servants, the ones who keep our country going, no matter which administration is in office, with political ideologues who have agendas. Do you value your Medicare and Social Security? Those vital programs are on the top of the list to be dismantled. They plan on placing national bans on abortion, taking away student debt relief, ceasing support for international relief, allowing ICE to do raids at schools, and prioritizing corporate pillaging of our environment over climate protections. This is real. And this is not the country I want to live in. And since I'm talking to my Unitarian Universalist friends, I am confident that this is not the country you want to live in. So how did we get here? Unfortunately, we, the American public, have not been paying attention. We thought getting out the vote for presidential elections and then going back to our everyday lives was enough. We assume the rights we enjoy will stay there because, well, they're our rights. And guess what? We were wrong. And we know that now. While we've been living our lives, Supreme Court seats were being stolen in the Senate, causing potentially fatal blows to our rights and democracy. And there is a potential for 3 more Supreme Court appointments coming up in the next 4.5 years. Needless to say, this presidential election is a very important one. But so is every election to come, from school boards, city council, and county board of supervisors to our state and federal elections. Here's what's at stake locally. Years ago, while we were content knowing that we had an excellent school district in the Conejo Valley, the school board experienced an extreme religious right takeover. At the first school board meeting I attended, this faction was trying to switch California's textbook for ninth grade life science to the Texas textbook because the California text defined marriage as a committed relationship between two people. The Texas text, of course, defined it as a committed relationship between a man and a woman. Had they succeeded, there would have been many challenging lawsuits that would have cost our district hundreds of thousands of dollars. If those succeeded, there would have been many thousands more spent conforming the rest of the text to California standards. That radical right school board tried to remove books from the curriculum that included sensitive subjects, the experiences of Native Americans, writings of Pulitzer Prize winner Maya Angelou, and others. They were defeated in local elections when people realized the importance of the issues. But the threat is still there. Current activists are doing everything they can to erase the existence of transgender children. We see the same issue with our city council. One member, a previous mayor, is part of a leadership team for the Children's Educational Opportunity Act. What is that? It's been proposed and happily tabled to take the $17,000+ allotted for each student and allow parents to decide where they want that money spent. That would be monies removed from our school district and districts throughout California. Consider this. The mayor of Thousand Oaks was supporting removing funds from our excellent school district to placate the religious right. Who does he work for? It seems much more like a religious agenda than the betterment of the community that he serves. Immediately after corporately sponsored candidates won seats on the Ventura County Board of Supervisors, they took two actions. First, they raised the donation limit for their seats from $750 per person to $5,500. And they gave oil companies Ventura County coastal contracts, putting our beautiful county and the vitally important farmland at risk. They also placate election deniers who seek to cast doubt in every election. These deniers are showing up at our county board meetings and every city council meeting in the county to challenge the Voters' Choice Act. The Voters' Choice Act has expanded voting access through the county, making it easier for all to vote. We have to pay attention. We know that if we're dealing with this in California, the situation is so much worse in other states. These local leaders often become our national leaders. Case in point, our congressperson, Julia Brownlee, started out on a school board of education. U.S. Senator Alex Padilla served on the Los Angeles City Council, and Senator LaFonza Butler was an elected union organizer. You want to know who else started locally? Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, a religious right extremist. He was elected to the Louisiana House of Representatives. From there, unchallenged, he won the primary to go to Congress in a seat that no Democrat could win. He has not had to be accountable to the voters because he hasn't faced a real challenge. This man is 2 breaths away from being the President of the United States. Oh, local elections seriously matter. According to Ballotpedia, an astounding 65% of July's primary elections were uncontested. Shocking, isn't it? All the justice issues and our precious freedoms we hold dear are on the ballot. Yes, democracy is on the ballot. And since democracy is on the ballot, will people who are or can become pregnant have the autonomy to make medical decisions about their bodies? Will we fight to make sure that the LGBTQ community still has the right to marry who they love and have access to all the medical care they need? Since democracy is on the ballot, will our seniors die in poverty or live in dignity? Will our students be able to learn real history or face the whitewashed history that dooms us to repeat the past? Since democracy is on the ballot, will we vote to protect our rights to vote across the nation as conservative legislators are passing laws to restrict rights in gerrymandering districts to pollute the political power of people of color, young people, and poor people? Since democracy is on the ballot, will we speak for the 87 million people who are uninsured in this nation? The question is, will we stand up for people who have to decide whether to pay their rent or purchase prescription drugs? Since democracy is on the ballot, will we fight to protect this planet as we see the effects of climate change all over the world and right here in Ventura County? Our beautiful county has been identified as the area where temperatures are rising the fastest. Since democracy is on the ballot, you must know there are hundreds of judicial appointments the next president will make that will reshape voting rights, unionization, and homelessness. Since democracy is on the ballot, will we defend our First Amendment rights or have the freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and freedom of assembly taken away from us? Democracy is on the ballot. I am not a one-issue voter, but I am a voter who votes to protect our rights as citizens and human beings. Since democracy is on the ballot, I'm asking today, it's time to get together as a community to save our nation from itself. And we have opportunities right here to do the work. This is our request to you. If you have not joined our UU the Vote effort, please do so now. Chalice is a champion in this national faith-wide effort. We have been writing postcards to voters in swing states, texting them, phone banking for them, and so much more. Our community forums have featured several election-based events, including our upcoming forum on August 30th with City Clerk Recorder Michelle Ascension. I work on a temporary basis for the elections divisions, and there's plenty of jobs there. Speak to me if you're interested in joining us. Now, where is she? Where is my partner in crime? There's my partner in crime. My partner in crime, Jill Lewis, will explain the challenge we've been given, and we will win.
Hello? Okay. Good morning.
Jill, hold the mic closer.
So I will be talking to you about good trouble. And of course, UU the Vote. So I need my glasses. In 2022, the National UU the Vote campaign put forth a challenge to become a good trouble congregation in the spirit of the Congressman John Lewis. We met and exceeded it, and we were one of the first congregations to receive that distinction. And we're going to do it again. And we're going to have more pins. Here's what it takes to be a good congregation in 2024. Turn out members for public action. Many of you have shown support of the Voters' Choice Act. Have at least 20 members attend a UU the Vote political education event. This is one of them right now. Yes, have at least 2 members work the polls, be line warmers, election observers. We have well exceeded that. And in voter contact, we're asked for a minimum of 4,000 postcards. We currently distributed and have mailed or are getting ready to mail 13,000. We are participating in text banks. We have partnered with the League of Women's Voters to table at Moore Park College and to pre-register local high school students. We are showing up all over the place. Our UU the Vote team now has over 60 active members. We have purchased all the postcards and corresponding materials for our campaign. We have also bought all the postage stamps in advance just before the prices increased. How are these expenses being covered? Earlier this year, Pamela applied for, and we have been awarded, a 3-to-1 matching grant from the Spirit Level Foundation for our UU the Vote work. Our campaign this year is budgeted at $10,000. If we raise $2,500, Spirit Level will give us a resounding contribution of $7,500 toward our effort. We have already received some donations, and we thank you. Today's special offering is to meet the grant challenge and fully fund the vital work of our UU the Vote campaign. Thank you for your generosity and enthusiastic support of our democracy work.
The choice this November is not between two candidates, but two visions of this nation. One vision romanticizes the mythology of the successful white male provider with a stay-at-home wife and 2 perfect children, never challenging the status quo. Another vision sees America as the yet-to-be United States of America with opportunities for all. I believe democracy is on the ballot. Through our votes and activism, we can choose the future of the country we want to see. Our votes are not just for our children, but if our nation is to survive, for our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. There is only one thing to do, and let's make sure we don't dishonor those who came before us. Rather, let's roll up our sleeves and get to work. It's way more fun with friends. Let's UU the Vote and save our country. Together again. Remember those words from Representative John Lewis. Do not get lost in the sea of despair. Be hopeful. Be optimistic. Our struggle is not the struggle of a day, a week, a month, a year. It is the struggle of a lifetime. Never be afraid to make some noise and get into good trouble, necessary trouble. Blessed be. We are not going back. Blessed be.